It's Friday night. Your phone lights up. A message from a friend. Party tonight, you coming? There's good music, familiar faces, probably someone insisting you try a weird dip they made from a TikTok recipe. And instead of excitement, you feel something else. A quiet, almost guilty kind of relief at the thought of saying no. You imagine your couch, your soft clothes, maybe a comfort show you've already watched 5 times, the rain tapping against the window, no small talk, no performance, just you. And then almost immediately, that cultural voice kicks in. You should go out more. You're wasting your life. Don't be boring. So you wonder, what's wrong with me? Let me show you something. Maybe nothing is wrong with you at all. Maybe your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. We live in a world that glorifies stimulation. Big cities, big crowds, big personalities, endless scrolling, constant notifications. Being busy has somehow become a personality trait. If your calendar is full and your weekends are packed, you must be thriving. If you're staying home by choice, something must be off. But your brain doesn't measure thriving in noise. Your brain measures safety. Deep inside your brain is a small, almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. It's basically your internal security guard. It scans constantly for unpredictability, loud environments, crowded spaces, social dynamics, subtle shifts in tone during conversations. None of these are necessarily dangerous, but they are uncertain. And uncertainty activates your threat detection system, even if just a little bit. Not panic, just micro-stress. When you're out in the world, your brain is processing more than you realize. Who's watching? How are you coming across? Is that joke landing? Is the energy shifting? You might not consciously think about these things, but your nervous system is. It's like having 10 tabs open in your mind at once. Now compare that to being at home. You walk in, you close the door. The lighting is how you like it. The temperature is right. The sounds are familiar. Your nervous system shifts gears. Your heart rate slows. Your muscles soften. Your thoughts stretch out instead of racing. When you say, "I just love being at home," what you might really be saying is, "My nervous system finally gets to breathe here." And that's not laziness. That's regulation. A lot of people immediately jump to the word introversion. Maybe that's you. But introversion isn't about hating people or being socially awkward. It's about energy. Some people gain energy from social interaction. The more stimulation, the more alive they feel. Others spend energy in social settings. Even if they enjoy the people, even if they're good at it, it still costs something. Psychologist Hans Eysenck proposed that introverts may have a higher baseline level of cortical arousal. In simple terms, your brain might already be running at a slightly higher volume, so when the outside world turns the dial up, you hit overload faster. Imagine everyone else is comfortable at volume 5, and you're naturally at 7. When the party cranks up to 9, you're basically at 11. Of course you'd want quiet, but it goes deeper than introversion. Some people have what researchers call environmental sensitivity. Around 15 to 30% of the population processes sensory input more deeply. Noise feels louder, bright lights feel brighter, emotional tension in a room feels heavier. Psychologist Elaine Aron coined the term highly sensitive person to describe this trait, and despite how it sounds, it's not fragility, it's depth. If you're someone who loves staying home, you might be someone whose nervous system simply absorbs more. You notice subtle expressions, you pick up on mood shifts, you replay conversations later and analyze what was really meant. That's a lot of data. Being at home isn't hiding from the world, it's calibrating the volume. Imagine living your whole life in a room where the music is slightly too loud. You'd crave the one place where it's finally set just right. That place might be your living room. There's also something fascinating happening in your brain when you're alone in a quiet space. There's a network called the default mode network, and it activates when you're not focused on external tasks, when you're daydreaming, reflecting, imagining. processing emotions. For a long time, scientists thought this was the brain idling. Now we know it's anything but idle. It's deeply involved in self-reflection, creativity, empathy, and building a coherent sense of identity. When you're at home, staring at the ceiling and thinking about your week, you're not wasting time. You're integrating your experiences. When you lose yourself in a book or a game or reorganizing a shelf for no real reason, your brain is weaving connections. You're strengthening your inner world. And here's something we don't talk about enough. The outside world often demands performance, even subtle performance. You adjust your tone, you manage impressions, you laugh when appropriate, you monitor your posture. It's like being on a low-level stage all the time. At home, you don't perform. You experiment. You go deep. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi described a state called flow, that feeling of being fully absorbed in what you're doing. Time dissolves. You're challenged but capable. Flow requires focus, and focus requires fewer interruptions. For many people, home becomes the laboratory of flow. It's where creativity blooms, where cooking becomes meditation, where coding or painting or journaling turns into something almost sacred. But let's pause for honesty. Not all staying home is the same. There's restorative solitude, and then there's avoidant isolation. From the outside, they look identical. Someone declines invitations, someone prefers being alone. But internally, they feel completely different. Restorative solitude feels peaceful. You still enjoy people, you just don't need constant exposure. When you choose home, you feel nourished, clear, grounded. Avoidant isolation feels heavy. You want connection, but fear rejection. You stay home not because it fills you up, but because it protects you from anxiety. So the real question isn't why do I love staying home? It's when I choose home, what am I feeling? Relief and alignment, or fear and shrinking? If it's alignment, there is nothing to fix. If it's fear, there's nothing to shame, just something to gently explore. Culture complicates all of this. In many societies, being social is equated with being healthy. Visibility equals value. If you're not posting it, attending it, sharing it, does it even count? But your private experiences shape you just as much as public ones. Some of history's most creative minds did their deepest work alone, not because they disliked humanity, but because they needed silence to hear their own thoughts clearly. There's something quietly powerful about being able to sit alone in a room and feel content. Blaise Pascal once suggested that much of humanity's problems come from our inability to sit quietly with ourselves. Dramatic, maybe, but there's truth there. If you can enjoy your own company, it means your identity isn't entirely dependent on external validation. Carl Jung spoke about individuation, the process of becoming fully yourself. That process requires reflection, it requires space, it requires moments when no one is watching and you're not trying to be anything for anyone. Loving staying at home can be part of that process. It can mean you're building a life that fits your nervous system instead of forcing your nervous system to fit a life that exhausts you. And sometimes, let's be real, staying home is just joy. Fresh sheets, a hot shower, rain against the window, diving deep into a topic no one else cares about, dancing in your kitchen with no audience, ordering food and watching a documentary while the world rushes outside. Why do we treat that as less valuable than being seen? Maybe loving home isn't about hiding from life. Maybe it's about engaging with life on your own terms, choosing depth over noise, intention over impulse, meaning over motion. So the next time you cancel plans and feel that wave of relief, instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" try asking, "What does my nervous system need right now?" Maybe you're someone who recharges in quiet corners. Maybe your brain thrives in low stimulation. Maybe your inner world is rich enough that you don't constantly need external fireworks. Some people are built for the stage. Some are built for the studio. Some are energized by crowds. Others by candlelight and calm. Neither is superior. They're just different rhythms. And real maturity begins when you stop judging your rhythm and start understanding it. If this resonates with you, I'd love to hear it. What does your ideal night at home look like? Is it books and tea, games and snacks, silence and thinking? Share it, because sometimes the most powerful thing you can realize is that you're not strange, you're not broken, you're not missing out. You're just wired differently. And maybe, just maybe, that wiring is one of your greatest strengths.